I'm Ellen Nunes, and we are in my home studio in South Lake Tahoe, California. I am an abstract expressionist painter, and I am currently producing abstract expressionist paintings on the shape of Lake Tahoe. So I use a fluid acrylic process, which is a heck of a lot of fun and also ensures that all of my paintings will be originals in every way. No two paintings will be alike. I offer them in a variety of finishes, and this painting is been finished with an epoxy resin. So I paint it and then I add that epoxy resin finish, which in my opinion really makes the paint sing, and as well as give you the feeling that you have a slice of water here and you are literally holding a piece of the lake, which is what I'm trying to accomplish. This particular painting does not have a resin or a spray varnish on it. It is a matte finish. Golden acrylic paint does not require a varnish. I do it for effect, so sometimes the effect that I want is more quiet. And this particular painting really asked for that. I'm excited about this piece because of the elements that create the look of a sunset and reflection on the water. This particular painting has a finish of a spray resin varnish. I call it Sunset Spectacular. The spray resin varnish allows you to see the texture, unlike with the epoxy resin, which is a clear gloss, mirror-like finish. So you still get that gloss, but you can still see all the texture in this piece. Here is another example of a spray resin varnish. It really enhances the paintings, brings out metallic features, which I really love, and reflects some of the beautiful things we see on our Lake Tahoe. This particular piece, which is resined, I made for a Pride show that was happening at the Scott Forest Gallery here in South Lake Tahoe. And with fluid acrylic, sometimes things don't turn out as you might have pictured, but this allows you to learn how to let go. And that's my Pride painting. This particular painting, which my husband made the frame, is a resin painting. I do other shapes than just the shape of Lake Tahoe, of course. Everything is water related that I do. Everything is about the water. So in this particular piece, I think it looks like an underwater feature. You know, there's a really cool hole in Brazil that I'm reminded of when I see this piece. That is pretty cool, hole right in the middle of the ocean. These two paintings were part of a commission that I was doing with Rasta Colors. So this is my One Love series. I have a resin piece here and then a spray varnish on this painting. A lot of fun to make, especially over the shape of Lake Tahoe, because we do have a reggae fest here. This particular painting is one of my larger lakes. It's 29 by 17. The other shape is a 16 by 9. This particular painting is called Moody Blues, and it is in my what I call my sunset palette, which features copper metallics, gold metallics, and all the pigments that you would find in a Tahoe sunset. This particular quadrant painting is part of my abstraction series that I started in 2006. It is made with acrylic ink and large pieces of rock salt, and I put this out in I do this series only in winter because I need the cold frigid temperatures of Lake Tahoe to help me complete this work. I make the painting and then I leave it outside in these winter temperatures to allow the wind and the cold to affect change on my paper. And over time what happens is that the water is absorbed as well as pigment by this salt. And when I start with a large piece of salt and it takes several days for these to dry, I end up with a very small piece of salt. It has cemented itself to the paper and it sparkles. And I have developed a whole series of these pieces. I like to make them large, and I've been doing this since 2006. And this is creation number 15. I don't give them a name because I don't want to tell you what to think. I really like to work big with this work, but I am limited by the size of my tray. Each piece that you see here was created individually at a different time than the one next to it. But I used the same pattern and same palette in how I applied the pigment, and I made 12 paintings to create the 4 that you see here. What I did after I made the 12 paintings was put them on the floor, get on a ladder, and see which pieces had a relationship. And I started to work with it that way to create this composition. This painting, which I've called Creation Series number 4, is the jewel of my collection. It was one of the first paintings I did in experimenting with this technique. So what we're looking at is 300-pound Arches paper with acrylic ink and rock salt. And the rock salt really cemented itself to this piece so that it sparkles. The light catches it, it's lovely. Feedback that I've gotten about this painting is it reminds folks of underwater. It also reminds people of being in space and looking down at the earth, which I like that.